What is good, everybody? Got that beta from Rough Rider. What do we got? We got Jerry Stokes. Remind me what your name is. Not my name. That's what it was. Not my name. Architect Sig Fang, Architect of Sin. Woo! What's going on? I hope everybody's having a great day today. I hope you all are having a better day than Donald Trump is. No ringing in the ears. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, something similar happened to me earlier. I posted a picture of it on Instagram. Um, you know, had to it's healed up now, right? But I put a little picture on Instagram just to let people know that I was okay. So y'all should go check that out. Left Face TV over on Instagram and just, stroke my ego, tell me thoughts and prayers. All I need is thoughts and or prayers. That's all I need. Um, yeah. For some reason, what's going on, John Stewart? For some reason, OBS doesn't like when I press go and then I go to YouTube and I press go. Like it's like YouTube goes and then like all of a sudden Twitch doesn't go. Clapping for chlamydia. What's up? How you doing? I always call chlamydia the strep throat of the genitals. It's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is just take it easy for a little bit, get a shot. It'll just clear that up. Don't y'all worry about it. Don't y'all worry about it. um, hey, where's my mood lighting? My mood music. There we go. There we go. Better play. There we go. There we go. Oh, hear that? Yeah, that's right. Speak from experience. I cannot confirm nor deny. That is private. Oh shit. Yeah, what do we could talk about today? First of all, 2 days in a row, and it's a Tuesday. Wait a minute, Wednesday. That's what. No, Tuesday. Oh shit, 2 days in a row. I'm on Monday, Tuesday. And tomorrow you gotta stream, right? Because that's Nerds of Culture Eve. Like if I'm not gonna stream at all, I'm definitely gonna try to make Nerds of Culture Eve. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like a holiday at that point. Shit. That's Monday, Tuesday. If I stream tomorrow, Nerds of Culture on Thursday. That's four. That's four in the whole week. But that doesn't mean there won't be anything to do over the weekend, because Maneater would like to start getting some brain rot done. Through the Halloween season, we did this thing where we all watched a bunch of horror movies in the Discord. I think y'all were doing that with Blurred Ernie, the Blurred Without Fear over on the Blurred Koa too. So we want to kind of bring back something like that for the weekend, but like something like more brain rottish, like what's it called? Baddies? Something with good drama, something to laugh at. You know what I mean? But anyways, hopefully y'all will be there to join us. If not, I mean, you could be there in spirit. You know what I mean? It's okay. I understand. So what are we going to talk about today? Obviously, we're going to start off with some Democracy Now. I like to start off the stream with a quick quick trip around the world, and not always the sexiest stuff, not always the most entertaining stuff, but I do think it's important. So hopefully, if you all have this show on in the background, maybe you hear a little something. Maybe you go, oh shit, that's happening in Italy or Ghana or Kenya or Ethiopia. I think it's good to be aware of stuff like that. Then we're gonna watch a quick video from Jessie Gender. I don't know if y'all know who she is. Jessie Gender is a trans activist and content creator, and I haven't seen it, so I'll watch it blind with y'all. The title is The Hypocritical Civility Response to Trump's assassination attempt. I saw that and I was like, yep, definitely, definitely gonna watch that. And then there was right here. Where we at? Clarence Thomas. Let's see. Voter polls after the attack. There was something else I wanted to watch about that. No place for political violence. My ass. Oh well. But yeah, CNN did a quick 8-minute deal on what the Trump rally gunman did before the attack. We'll go over that. Amber Rose. So I wanted to really go just because it's fun. Leftists are not welcome in polite society. You're probably right. And there's a reason for that. Fuck them. A polite society gets you to exactly to where we are today. A polite society has the marginalized and the oppressed saying yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and making sure they lower their eyes in respect, right? Because then it becomes peaceful. Who was it? Peace is not liberation. I didn't make that up, but it's powerful. So let's find the who, what is that? Peace is not liberation. There we go. There. I'll give it to y'all right now, actually. Hope you all are having a beautiful, beautiful day, because I am. You can't go full screen on shorts? Well, that's whack. That's whack. Hold on, there's gotta be a regular ass fucking, sometimes peace is just another word for surrender. Yep, you know that's right. By the way, apparently last night there was my chat for YouTube dropped out. So if you guys were talking and I wasn't paying attention or I wasn't answering, I apologize. I have like a plug-in that combines the chat so I don't have to look at two windows, and sometimes it loses connection with one. So if it looks like I'm not like answering anybody in YouTube, maybe just DM me on Discord or something like that if anybody sees that. Yeah, they're all shorts. Okay. Let's just watch it.
Between peace and liberation. Difference between peace and liberation, is there not? You can have injustice and have peace. Isn't that correct?
You can have peace and be enslaved.
Yes.
So peace isn't the answer.
No.
Liberation is the answer.
Yes, of course.
Okay, then that's what you should talk about, never peace. That's the white man's word, peace. Liberation is our word.
But you will want peace in the end.
Yes, but you can't have peace until everybody's equal.
But you seem free at the moment.
I seem peaceful at the moment.
You seem free.
I seem peaceful. Is it different?
And see, and as long as you just sit there and you do what they want you to do, right? And whenever the previous president, pretty much the thing that was all over his rhetoric, all over his followers' rhetoric, like when you talk about only the most revolutionary of leftists are out there wanting and beating the war drums, right? I would say the vast majority of and then those people would call anybody who's not beating the war drums liberals, right? So whatever. But the way I define the word, most leftists are not out there wanting a civil war. You know, I think the most violent rhetoric that I could say comes from, and this is air quotes violent, really, that comes from the left is probably eat the rich, right? Memes about guillotines or whatever. But anybody with half a brain knows that while maybe one day it will be literal, these are mainly metaphors of resistance, right? Like these are more about, resisting the norm that the elite are somehow better than us, right? So we have eat the rich, we have that stuff, kill your heroes, which we'll talk about a little bit today with, spoiler, Jack Black. On Nerds of Culture, we talked about Neil Gaiman's accusations. But outside of that, like what do we do? Now on the other side, what do they talk about? What did the one dude say? He says the revolution will be as bloodless as the left allows it to be. Meaning, if you don't fall in line, we will kill you. And then when one of their own, who happened to be anti-Trump for whatever reason, one of their own, a young radicalized conservative Republican, registered Republican, takes a shot at Trump because in their mind, this is the only way we're going to save the Republican Party, right? In this dude's mind, he has been so radicalized that the shit that he's been teaching, being taught, the shit that he's been hearing about civil war and Second Amendment and don't tread on me and all that comes to visit Trump, and now it's the left's fault. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. All right. Tilky Basil. Good job. You stun stun locked me, got me on a video, got me on a rant, and we haven't even started Democracy Now. So, well done. Well done, actually. Here we go. We're gonna go in. Let's get it in.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. We're breaking with convention, war, peace, and the presidency. I'm Amy Goodman. We're broadcasting from Milwaukee. Donald Trump has selected freshman Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate. Republicans celebrated the decision while Democrats warned against Vance's extremist views, with President Biden labeling him a clone of Trump. The 39-year-old former Marine gained fame after writing the best-selling memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis, about growing up in Appalachia. He won a close Republican Senate primary in 2022, in part thanks to the billionaire tech investor Peter Thiel, who poured a record-breaking $10 million into his campaign. J.D. Vance's political positions have shifted dramatically over the years. Once a Trump critic, J.D. Vance went on to embrace the MAGA movement and far-right positions on abortion, the climate, immigration, and other issues. Donald Trump appeared alongside J.D. Vance Monday at the Republican National Convention as he made his first public showing since Saturday's assassination attempt. Trump appeared with a bandaged ear as he sat next to J.D. Vance, and Republicans formally nominated Trump and Vance for the 2024 ticket. We'll have more on J.D. Vance and the first day of the Republican National Convention after headlines. Meanwhile, in related news, Elon Musk said he'll...
So disrespectful. Just so... Can you be serious? He was shot at, man. Can you be serious for 1 second?
give $45 million per month to the new pro-Trump super PAC, America PAC. Outside the Fiserv Forum...
See, this is what I mean when we talk about billionaires and money doesn't really mean anything to billionaires. It's like, what are you doing? like when you can sit there, Lo Tigre, what's up, Cypher? When you can sit there and say, I'm gonna give $45 million a month to this PAC, and from here to the elections, you know, you have too much. We have too much money. You know what I'm saying?
Where the RNC is taking place here in Milwaukee.
I don't know. I'll accept it anywhere, Chris. I need some watch time over on YouTube, so I appreciate you.
Activists gathered to protest the Republican agenda.
We're really proud to be marching within sight and sound of the convention, letting the Republicans know that we are here. We care about the climate, we care about immigrant rights, we care about Palestine. There's a large contingent of different organizations marching because they want to let them know that these are the issues people care about today.
Meanwhile, Sherry Honkala, national spokesperson for the Poor People's Army, was arrested Monday as she attempted to deliver a citizen's arrest to Republican officials whom the group has accused of crimes against humanity. Just hours earlier, she spoke to Democracy Now! About that action and more. Go to democracynow.org to see that interview. A federal judge in Florida has dismissed special counsel Jack Smith's criminal case against Donald Trump over his mishandling of classified documents after leaving the White House. On Monday, the Trump-appointed U.S. Judge Aileen Cannon sided with Trump's lawyers, who argued Attorney General Merrick Garland's appointment of the special counsel was unlawful because Smith had not been appointed by Biden or confirmed by the Senate. Cannon also ruled Smith had been improperly funded by the Treasury Department. Cannon's legal rationale.
So I wonder if Man Eater, what's up? What's up? Hello, love. I wonder if the justice system now is cool again. Like, I wonder if the justice system is still in Biden's pocket. Like, how does this happen? Like, how is Biden in control? So Biden controls the judiciary and can get other people attacked, but he can't protect his own son and can't make sure this doesn't get thrown out. I'm just confused. I thought Biden was like all powerful and, you know, senile all at once.
Rationale drew from a concurring opinion by far-right Justice Clarence Thomas in the Supreme Court's historic ruling Trump v. United States, which grants presidents broad immunity from prosecution. A federal grand jury had indicted Trump on
What's up, Dr. Midnight?
felony counts, 32
Man Eater. I
violations
need
of
to
the
evaluate
espionage
Tyler
act.
Perry and why he thinks he needs to be making movies about black women pain, but like an exploitive way. Yeah.
Justice. The Justice Department is expected to appeal the ruling, but the legal victory has given Trump another boost as he officially accepts the presidential nomination this week here at the RNC. Democrats slam the decision by Judge Cannon. President Biden called the dismissal specious. Meanwhile, Florida Republican Congressmember Matt Gaetz reacted to the news by calling Aileen Cannon a, quote, future Supreme Court justice. We'll have more on this story later in the broadcast with Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist David K. Johnston.
Which is just a signaling, right? Like, it's what they do. They're like, hey, do you want to be in good? Do you want to get in higher on the federal side? Well, then just keep ruling in our favor, and we will make sure we take care of you, you know?
Though no apparent motive has yet to emerge. Journalist Donald Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The FBI is analyzing 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crook's cell phone, though no apparent motive has yet to emerge.
I think it was to kill Trump. I am not a profiler. I am not the kind of guy that, you know, goes out and just shoots from the hip on such serious things. But I think the motive was to kill Trump.
Crooks was a nursing home employee who'd registered to vote as a Republican, though his acquaintances say he was fairly quiet with no overt political leanings. Federal investigators believe he acted alone, but they say they're still exploring all avenues. Meanwhile, congressional Republicans have called on the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, to testify about apparent failures ahead of and in response to the incident. Cheadle has rejected calls to resign. Video emerged.
Thank you, Maneater. Gifting a sub to a Rough Rider.
Before he began
Appreciate
shooting
you.
from the roof of a nearby building. A local NBC affiliate reports the shooter was spotted by law enforcement nearly 30 minutes before he opened fire. In an interview with NBC's Lester Holt Monday, President Biden was questioned.
There was a cop who saw him going up on the roof, and dude turns around, points the rifle at the cop. The cop backs away. The dude then continues to go up, and then he's able to go up the ladder, lay down, take aim, and take off some shots. Give that cop a medal. That's all. As I'm just saying, I'm sure maybe not all cops are bad bastards. You know, I don't know.
About language he's used while campaigning against Trump, including telling Democratic donors, quote, "It's time to put Trump in the bullseye."
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that wouldn't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win.
President Biden also repeated his earlier call on Sunday to cool down the political rhetoric. The head of UNRWA, the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency, said its Gaza headquarters has been, quote, flattened and turned into a battlefield, unquote, as Israeli forces continue their scorched earth campaign in Gaza City. Israeli attacks are also continuing throughout the Gaza Strip, including in Deir al-Balah, where survivors search through rubble for their loved ones after fresh airstrikes brought down at least one building Monday.
My mother, an elderly woman, was sitting with me upstairs. She went downstairs, and after 5 minutes, I pulled her out from under the rubble. We also pulled my sister out from under the rubble, and my sister's children, too. Those who died are my mother, my sister, and my sister's children. Children. One was 2.5 years old, and the other two, I don't know what happened to them. God willing, may God save them.
Turkey has condemned Israel's military for destroying the Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital, Gaza's only specialized cancer center, after using it as a military base for months. Turkish officials said it's further proof of Israel's, quote, systematic policy aimed at the annihilation of the Palestinian people, unquote, and vowed to pursue Israel in international courts. Here in the U.S., Secretary of State Antony Blinken told two top Israeli officials the civilian death toll in Gaza is unacceptably high during an Israeli visit to Washington, D.C.
I don't think he knows what the word unacceptable means. I don't know if he understands that when you are the individual enabling something and you are the individual who has the power to make this end, saying it's unreasonable, unacceptable, and then continuing to give money and continuing to give bombs and weapons and missiles and artillery shells, well, then you must not think it's too unacceptable.
D.C. Israel's killed at least 38,700 Palestinians in Gaza since October 7th, though the true death toll is likely much higher. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is still expected to address Congress on July 24th, despite the reported concern about the death toll and mounting objections among Democrats to Netanyahu's appearance. The European Union has announced sanctions against 5 Israeli settlers and 3 other entities responsible for serious and systematic human rights abuses against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem. Those sanctions include the group Tsav 9, which the EU said regularly blocks humanitarian aid trucks with food, water, and fuel headed to Gaza. Also on the list were Ben-Zion Gopstein, founder of the far-right Jewish supremacist group Lachava, which means the flame, and Ischar Man. All three have also been sanctioned by the U.S. government. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he plans to host a second international peace summit in Kyiv this fall to discuss Ukraine's failure. 92 countries attended a similar summit in Switzerland last month. Though Russia and China did not attend, Zelensky spoke after returning from last week's NATO summit in D.C.
I believe that we're ready to hold the second summit sooner rather than later. And I believe that representatives of Russia should be present at the second summit.
Last month's summit discussed three of Zelensky's 10-part formula for peace, covering food security, nuclear safety, and the release of prisoners of war and children. It's unclear if Moscow will be willing to attend a follow-up summit, though a Russian official last week rejected the idea. A Russian court has convicted U.S.-Russian journalist Masha Gessen.
Because Russia's doing the same thing Israel's doing. They are putting stuff on the table that is clearly unacceptable, and then when it doesn't go through, they blame the one that is being attacked for stalling negotiations. In Israel, in the negotiations, they say that they will that they're not going to release their hostages that they call prisoners, many of whom are children, but they'll release some of them. But what's wild is, in this permanent ceasefire negotiation, let me just say that again, because I'm not sure Israel knows what a permanent ceasefire is. So it is the negotiations for a permanent ceasefire. They want to retain the right to re-engage and complete their objectives after the exchange with after the prisoner exchange. They want to be able to still fight after the permanent ceasefire is agreed to.
In absentia Monday, sentencing them to 8 years in prison for remarks made in 2022 about the invasion of Ukraine. Gessen, who lives in the U.S., was found guilty of spreading false information when they spoke in an interview about the massacre of hundreds of people by Russian forces in the eastern Ukrainian city of Bucha. You can see our interviews with Masha Gessen about the war in Ukraine, Gaza, and many other topics at democracynow.org. In El Salvador, children have been subjected to serious human rights violations under President Nayib Bukele's violent crackdown on gangs. That's according to Human Rights Watch, which has just released a report detailing the arbitrary detention, torture, and other forms of abuse against children who've been arrested during El Salvador's state of exception that's been in force since March 2022. The report says detained children are held in overcrowded prisons, are not provided adequate food or health care, and have been denied access to their lawyers and visits with family members. Many have been convicted in unfair trials without due process. And in New York, a coalition of immigration and civil rights groups has filed a complaint on behalf of immigrants detained at the Buffalo Federal Detention Facility over chronic abuse there. The complaint accuses immigration and
So the funny thing about this one too is it is not unthinkable, given the past statements that Netanyahu has put out, that Netanyahu is not only causing these negotiations to sink on purpose because he wants to finish the genocide, right? He wants to finish his objectives of ethnic cleansing. Not only that, but because he knows that reaching a peace agreement before the elections is a huge win for Biden. And who does he want in office? Netanyahu, an absolute insane genocidal fascist, a Jewish supremacist, wants Trump in office. So he's not going to allow Biden to get that win. We'll see.
Customs enforcement of engaging in a brutal retaliation campaign against detained people who participated in a peaceful hunger strike to protest dire conditions inside the jail. Being denied access to free calls to their families and ICE's practice of locking immigrants in their cells for 18 hours a day. ICE officials threatened the hunger strikers with physical violence and placing them in solitary confinement. Meanwhile, in New York, a federal judge Friday dismissed Rudy Giuliani's bankruptcy protection case, clearing the way for creditors to potentially seize his assets. Giuliani had sought bankruptcy protection after a jury in December awarded two Georgia election workers $148 million in their defamation case against Giuliani following the 2020 election. Environmental groups renewed calls for a ban on deep-sea mining Monday as the International Seabed Authority opened its annual summit in Jamaica. More than 24 nations attending the talks have called for a moratorium on deep-sea mining, which creates massive sediment plumes and can devastate marine ecosystems. In a statement, the Deep Sea Conservation Coalition wrote, quote, "The deep ocean sustains crucial processes that make the entire planet habitable, from driving ocean currents that regulate our weather to storing carbon and buffering our planet against the impacts of climate change," unquote. Bolivia's president has announced plans to exploit a vast natural gas reserve north of Bolivia's administrative capital, La Paz. President Luis Arce said Monday the discovery of 1.7 trillion cubic feet of gas would once again make Bolivia a major exporter of fossil fuels.
It will mark the beginning of a new chapter for the northern sub-Andean region. It offers the hope of maintaining our country as an important gas exporter, driving a second era of hydrocarbon production and positioning La Paz as a department that is now a hydrocarbon producer.
Bolivia is already South America's largest exporter of natural gas, although its shipments are dwarfed by the world leader, the United States. Scorching temperatures continue to bake large swaths of the Midwest and eastern U.S. as a heat dome blankets the region. Some 100 million people are under heat advisories from New York to Florida to Texas. Meanwhile, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and much of eastern North Carolina and southeast Virginia are under excessive heat warnings, with temperatures expected to rise to some 100 degrees Fahrenheit. On the West Coast, the blistering heat has intensified wildfires across Oregon, where at least 8 blazes are burning. Oregon's largest blaze, the Cow Valley Fire, has burnt over 132,000 acres. Wildfires are also raging in parts of California and Hawaii. In Gambia, lawmakers have voted to uphold legislation banning female genital mutilation. The vote comes after Gambia's National Assembly in March approved a move to repeal the landmark 2015 ban on female genital cutting. Some lawmakers say they were willing to lose their seat by speaking out against the practice.
What is wrong shall never be right. This is wrong, and I will start to say it's wrong. Even it is taking me to lose this seat, I was ready to resign and said, look, I will not be a part of a legislative that will tend to return my country in those old age.
In Nigeria, at least 22 students were...
God damn. This dude, they're arguing about whether or not, like, it kind of, like, it's bad, right? It's definitely where we're going, but just given the fact that we're talking about genital mutilation, that shit is wild. That's sad as fuck.
Killed after a 2-story school in the community of Busabuji collapsed during morning classes Friday. Over 100 students at the Saints Academy became trapped in the rubble. Many of the school students are 15 or younger. Local officials vowed to investigate as the families of the victims gathered near the school to mourn their loved ones. This is Victor Dennis, whose son, Emmanuel, was killed in the school collapse.
I went there to see the collapsed building, a 2-story building. So people were helping to rescue the students. My 2 girls, one jumped out. They rescued the other one. My boy was down. It took some time before they brought him out from the rubble. He had injury on his head. I saw his dead body in the mortuary.
And Peter Buxton, the U.S. government whistleblower who exposed the Tuskegee syphilis study, has died at 86. Starting in 1966, Buxton started sounding the alarm when he learned about the ongoing experiment as a federal public health employee. The government-led study, which started in 1932, observed 400 black men in rural Alabama who had syphilis but were denied antibiotic treatment so scientists could observe the disease's progression. It wasn't until 1972 that the study came into full view of the public and Congress when AP reporter Edith Lederer published a story about the case using information passed on to her by Buxton. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now! Breaking with Convention, War, Peace, and the Presidency.
Tensions have been mounting. Evil scientists are thing also. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. It's kind of like what I tell people about like being an atheist. It's like, hold on. Like sometimes people get pretty cringe with it where they're like, if you like if you're an atheist, that makes you a good person. And I'm like, the only thing being an atheist says is that you don't believe in God. It does nothing about your character. Same thing for being a scientist. Like, of course I respect scientists. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, DSB. Of course I respect scientists, but that don't mean that they're not they can, you know, support evil. Like look at Big Pharma and the way they use scientists. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's an interesting article, Stop Animal Murders. I'm looking at this Pew Research that was done in March. I don't think I've ever actually sat down to look at this. Americans see Israel-Palestinian people more positively than the Israeli government Palestinian Authority. Israeli people very unfavorably, somewhat favorable. Israeli government. So like the sometimes polls. I need an actual analyst to break this down for me. They view the people more favorably, but the government less so. Two split. This is how racist the country is. Check out the fucking. It's like on the people, right? But on Palestinian people, sheesh. I don't know. I'm kind of split on that one as a country. Really bad on the Palestinian Authority. Really bad. Like you can't win. You can't win. Americans more supportive of humanitarian aid to Gaza than military aid. Well, thankfully, military aid to Israel to help. Americans are divided and many are uncertain whether Biden is striking the right balance. Favors Israeli too much, striking about the right balance. So here's what's funny. You have Holly Zancher. I found videos of Matthew Crooks in school. Is it the one where I only seen one and it's him saying that he has a 10-inch penis? Is that the one? Is there more than that? But here's what's funny about this graph right here. 40% of Americans are in the like, it's just so complicated. You know, what are you gonna do? I'm just so confused right now. So that's concerning. But then again, a greater percentage of that, you know, believe the earth was created in 6 days. So, and about as many people who are not sure are saying, oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong two. Are saying that either he's doing a good job or being too nice. Think about that. Between these, he's either being too nice, too soft, biased towards the Palestinians, or he's doing just right. Like he's got it. He's nailed it, balanced it out. And only 22% of our nation is sure that he's biased towards Israel. I really don't want to be a defeatist or a boomer, but it's like, how do you break that? You know, how do you break that? To be fair, though, this is March. I don't know if there's a newer one or not. I wonder how these numbers have changed, considering since March, there's just been more and more and more devastation. Jeez. Yeah. So before I continue, real quick, for anybody who's new out there, see, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch. I'm Robo, and I'm the host of Left Face. Here is going to be a leftist, political, pop culture, current events commentary. I did 23 years active duty in the Air Force. I was a combatant for the last 13 years of my service. And I have multiple tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. And my combat tour was in Afghanistan, however. I don't count the one in Iraq because it was in a big base and nothing happened. That said, during my time in the military, I have shifted left, and I just kept going left and more left and more left. And by the time I was done, by the time I realized that I was not proud of where I was, where I stood, it was already a little late for that. I'm going to finish this out. I'm going to collect my my pension. I'm going to get the disability that I to come out broken and say earned is yeah, that's I don't know, it's a weird word to use, but I was going to make sure I got my retirement, got my disability pay, and now I'm a socialist, and I use what I know to inform how I talk about stuff. So I appreciate it. If you're new here, don't forget to smash like on the video in the YouTube side. And if you want to, come throw a follow on the Twitch side as well. So, oh yeah. This stream, for some reason, it's not up. What's going on here? Oh, that's because it's in the top left corner. I'm used to it being in the top right. So if you stare at this flower long enough, you'll see it jumps over to Ground News. I am a Ground News affiliate, and I'm actually going to show you all how I use Ground News every day and the things that are on there. This is an interesting. This caught my eye earlier. I said, "Oh," but I realized that these are like pay features. To look at the bias reports, to look at the bias distribution. Again, this is more than an algorithm. This is more than an algorithm. This is not an algorithm. I'm sorry, an aggregator. This is literally will take how you watch news and then show you not only news that you show an interest in, but also your blind spots. So like, for instance, this just came up today. Report Biden to push major changes to Supreme Court. And you can kind of see like a rundown based off of how the left, right, and center are reporting on it. So if I click left, President Biden will announce support for significant Supreme Court changes with plans to term limits and ethics code. Biden's consultations have focused on these changes. His re-election campaign faced chaos after debating in Atlanta 3 weeks ago. So the right is reporting it as President Biden is finalizing plans to endorse major changes to the Supreme Court, including these term limits. Biden aims to energize a left-wing base, so basically along the same lines, but sometimes they'll be pretty different. You could also check out like how so there's five right-leaning sources on it. Biden caves to the left, will back changes to Supreme Court. Biden coming after the Supreme Court, wants term limits, enforceable ethics code, immunity amendment. And then the way the left reports it is obviously either neutral or more positive, right? Without all the Biden confirms he's coming out with a major initiative to rein in Supreme Court. You could also check out the 42% of reporters of reporting is high confidence. Some of them are mixed factuality. Ownership, you can break it down, based off of who they are, media conglomerates, independent news, et cetera, et cetera. So this is pretty dope. Ground news is free anyway. But to get these kind of breakdowns and to get emails, daily emails on your blind spot, I would love if you all check out, not that one. What is it? It's check. It's in the logo, but check.ground.news/ Actually, I think that one might be it, but yeah, there it is. So if you want to support it, you're looking for new way to get your news, check that out. That's a good way to support the channel and get news that is not going to just be spoon-fed to you. I definitely want to look more about this. So if I do a segment on this tomorrow, which I probably will, this is what I will be using to do my research and gather information on it. Biden changes to Supreme Court. All right, Jesse Gender. This is a quick video, it looks like. So Jesse Gender, again, trans activist, content creator, does really good stuff. Really smart. And if you want to learn stuff, check out Jesse Gender. This right here is something that I've been talking about the last couple of days, especially over on Threads. You can follow me on Threads, Leftface TV. This idea that it is embarrassing or you're becoming like them or whatever is cringe. It's embarrassing. I talked about it earlier at the start of the stream already, but these are garbage takes. This idea that the rhetoric has to be calmer, it's never worked. It doesn't work. It doesn't appeal to people to sit there and look at garbage, evil fucking takes and then pretend like they're normal. They're not. So what is that down there? E.new. Didn't do it on the Twitch side. Leftface is out. The YouTube is acting a whole. Oh, there we go. So let's just check out this video. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll check it out.
Hey there, interwebs. I hope you're all doing well. Though certainly after the events of this past weekend, if you are not doing well, I 100% understand, because frankly, neither am I. I'm actually terrified and angry and frustrated, and I debated making this video, but frankly, I feel I need to put it out there somewhere, despite the fact that this will probably yet again cause another shitstorm of a comment section. But that's just is what it is. That I think this frankly needs to be said, and I know a bunch of other people are saying it, and I'm just gonna say it too because I just need to express it somewhere, as I know many other people are feeling it at the moment. So if you were living under a rock this past weekend, you may not have heard the fact that former President Donald Trump
someone tried to kill him.
Was having
Sam Cedar, Emma Vigeland.
Stop.
This past weekend, obviously, considering it was an assassination attempt against a former president and someone who is seeking to become president, this has been a huge political discourse, and it has been entirely frustrating to see the response to this. Because I've seen so many capital L liberals, such as Biden himself, come out and say things like, I'm glad that he's safe. And
Biden as a liberal is a stretch, by the way. And I know liberals are mostly, that capitalist bent and all that stuff. But when I say liberal, I think like somebody on the left who kind of wants progressive things to happen, but definitely misses the forest for the trees, doesn't understand where the cancer is coming from. Biden, I don't know, like center at best.
I'm so glad political violence has no place in the United States. And this response is angering for so many reasons.
Because it happens all the time. Calling it unprecedented, saying that this is not us. Yes, the fuck it is. It is as American as apple pie. And pretending it's not is very, very frustrating.
Let's just talk on a political basis. Biden has gone around telling people that Trump is the next Hitler, that he is, going to destroy democracy, that he's a hateful person. And I agree with all of those things. I frankly very much do. But then to turn around and be like, well, I hope this man who we branded as Hitler is doing well, and just doing great. It's frankly just terrible optics on a political level. And I get to some degree you can't just go out and say like, hey, yeah, assassinate your political opponents. That's great. This is wonderful. I celebrate it. But it also doesn't need to be.
I mean, it is legal. Supreme Court said you can. So is it that crazy when the Supreme Court said that if he's giving an order to somebody that he is in charge, like Navy SEALs, FBI, counterterrorism, if he gives the order to assassinate Trump, Supreme Court said that you are completely immune. And even when we go into presumptive immunity, right, where it has to go to the court, the Supreme Court said that you are not allowed to use motive for the orders given under official duty. So if Biden were to give the order for a sniper in federal service to take the shot, okay, you can take him to court. But Biden is allowed to give that order, and you can't ask why Biden gave the order. You're not allowed to ask. Just saying.
This very clear, like, we wish him well, and there's violence has no place in politics here. It's this capitulation to civility that Trump himself never does to anyone like Biden. And I'm not necessarily saying you should do the Trumpism thing, but Trump, if Biden got shot at, Trump would have been celebrating that easily, and it would have been fine. Like, oh, good, yes, kill all the liberals. He's literally said shit like that. Lock her up with Hillary, and worse. He said, he said hang Mike Pence, his own vice president. And again, it doesn't need to be that extreme or that far, but again, it's just on just a political level, it seems dumb. But the reason that they do this, the reason they make this call to like, oh, politics has no place for violence, is because they sit in a privileged position. What angers me more, what frustrates me more about this response from the capital L liberals is that they get to sit on their high horse of, well, violence has no place in politics, without realizing that politics is violence. Tell the people in Gaza that violence has no place in politics when President Biden has continually helped support Israel's campaign against Palestinians as they seek to genocide them, or just throughout United States history.
No. You missed it. No. Easy mistake, Jesse Gender. I get it. But you didn't. He said it has no place in America. So Gaza's not America. Free, clear, found a loophole. We're good to go. We're good to go.
Whether it's been a right or left-wing president having done that very same thing. Tell the students at UCLA and other campuses across the United States who faced violence from literal police, the enforcers of state violence, that there's no place for violence in politics. Tell the numerous trans people, especially the trans kids who continually face anti-trans legislation across this country and escalating anti-trans violence, that there's no place for violence in politics. Tell that to the trans girl who was killed and dismembered in Pennsylvania, that politics has no place for violence, when the entire reason that girl was murdered so horrifically was off the back of the consistent anti-trans political rhetoric pushed by the GOP and the stochastic terrorism that is caused by it. Tell that to her. That is the violence in Pennsylvania that happened just recently, that we all should have been angered and set aflame by, and yet it was just a Tuesday, because that type of violence is normal, as is all the other violence that I referenced. The violence against indigenous people, the systemic violence against black people throughout United States history, that's just normal. But we need to be civil. We need to say, oh, I'm glad that Trump is perfectly okay, and I hope he gets back out there and is able to start pushing more anti-trans rhetoric to help get people like me killed faster. And if I say anything different than that, then I'm seen as the awful, evil one who's inciting violence. Oh, I'm the terrible leftist, and I get that from...
You're pretty much MAGA at that point if you do that. I hope she understands that if you do that, there is no difference between a Proud Boy and yourself. If you like, for example, if you say punch a Nazi, and then you're the same as the MAGA person who wants to kill trans people because you're stooping to their level. You understand how that works, right? I hate fucking...
From both right-wing and left-wing people, getting it all over my timeline recently. And I want to be clear, this is not me saying like, hell yeah, I endorse political assassinations. This isn't an endorsement of what that person did. What it is, it's calling out this freaking hypocrisy. Frankly, this assassination attempt was just, it's awful, because it's going to galvanize the right-wing groups to vote for Trump, but also to push more political violence specifically against marginalized people that they have viewed as antagonists to them, specifically trans people.
So I'm gonna tell you all something that not gonna lie, a little I don't know how to feel about it. A little embarrassed, to say the least. So went to get my son some meds. By the way, he's doing great. He's halfway through chemo, has his PET scan tomorrow. I will share that with you all once we get the results back. Hopefully, best case scenario is he'll be cancer free, and then he finishes the last 3 months of his chemo to like make doubly sure that he's cancer free, hopefully. But at worst, what it'll be, hopefully it's like mostly gone or something, right? Anyways, I was out getting him medicine, and I said, "Oh, let's swing by the grocery store. What should I cook?" And he wanted pork belly. So I'm like, "Okay, let's go through. I'll pick up some pork belly and we'll fry that up on the grill." And then I remembered that I was wearing this shirt. Uh, kind of a not so subtle dig at, if you don't like this flag, get out. And I'm gonna put it on this, right? So it's supposed to be like, oh, you don't like that, huh? You don't like it very much, do you? Right? As well as signal to people around me for who are LGBT that, I know I'm a big guy and with a beard, and I'm a Gen Xer, and I get it. So I like to like wear shit that lets people know that I'm safe. um, I pull up to the grocery store. I realize I'm wearing this shirt, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going in there, because in my neighborhood, we live in a particularly conservative corner of the area, because it's a little bit smaller. I wouldn't call it rural. Maybe it was at one point. It's built up kind of a bit, but it's definitely predominantly conservative. And as I said that, I mean, we got some like good old boys walking in, and I'm like, all right. Especially with what after the assassination attempt, and we actually had like a little talk about it on the way home. And I said, it sucks because like what I did just then was for a T-shirt, but trans people have to do that 24/7, right? Like when you look at people where you're sitting there and you're like, oh, let me go change my shirt. Well, they just gotta like never go to that place, right? That is the world we live in now. That is what the conservative rhetoric has built. That's the world we live in. And to talk about how that sort of violence is only bad now because Democrats have created this division or whatever the fuck, is pretty disgusting. So she says more of that, and I'll tell you what, if you share her energy, apparently I didn't put it on the thing. While I pull that up, check this out. Respectability politics. Oh, man. I'm a fan of Jack Black. Or I was a fan of Jack Black. Hilarious. Always thought he was a good dude, right? It's like I was saying when we were talking about Neil Gaiman, I was like, the nicest people. Like, you don't know these people. You don't know these people, so stop acting like you do. Jack Black on October 7th. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But on October 7th, hold on, let me pull this up. He made a tweet. Now, I will tell you that he made the tweet that I defended him making this tweet, by the way. Like, for real. What's wrong with you, browser? Load. There we go. So this is, let's change up the title here. So this has been going around lately, even though that it was put on his Instagram October 7th, October 9th. This is October 9th, and the reason why I know exactly October 9th, because I remember as I was kind of trying to read this in the fairest mind possible. I'm like, this is 2 days. 2 days after it happened. I'm going to allow him to have a pass. Unlike what came out of more of unlike what came out of a lot of leftists, I thought it was cringe and scary the way that people were talking about how Jewish people shouldn't be afraid. Jewish people shouldn't have fear of increased levels of anti-Semitism, and Jewish people were not allowed to mourn. I thought that's wild. That is completely wild. I'm imagining being a settler, right? Being a white settler in the early colonial United States, and everybody in my little town of 36 people was slaughtered by the local indigenous people in a fight to get their land back. Like, from my seat, I look back and I'll be like, good, fuck them, right? And literally, good, fuck them. Too bad it didn't happen more. Too bad it didn't happen so much that they stopped taking land or entered into a real treaty where they could actually be a nation, or they just left and went back to Europe. But that's not what happened. They just completely completed their genocidal acts. But if I was the settler and my neighborhood was wiped out, of course I would be fucking beside myself. Especially if I'm not the one, going out there and destroying them or whatever, right? I gave that little, like, why are they not allowed to be sad? So Jack Black puts out, it is absolutely reasonable and logical to be opposed to the Israeli government's treatment of Palestinians while simultaneously calling for the protection of Jews in Israel and around the world. Hamas is a terrorist organization that is attacking civilians by land, air, and sea. They love that at the beginning. They love that. Man, those dudes coming in on paragliders, that land, air, and sea was, but come on. It's 2024. You know damn well what it means to be attacked by the air. You know what being attacked by the air is? The shit that has been happening since October 7th by Israel. Fuck out of here with that. Given the thousands of years, the images of kidnapped Israelis are shocking and devastating. Of course they are. But so have the images of dead Palestinians over the last 100 years. Given the thousands of years of persecution of Jews, please know that your Jewish friends, even if they are not in Israel, are hurting and fearful of things like this happen, and when things like this happen and non-Jews are silent. Nobody was silent. This is a lie. Nobody was silent. There was people saying my prayers for Israel or whatever, or what the fuck do you expect? I'm not happy that the people in the kibbutzes were killed. I'm not happy that there is hostages. I'm not happy for any of this stuff. But what have Israelis, what have supporters of Israel been saying? Many of the people who used to serve with me, what have they said? Well, what do you expect? Okay, keep that energy next time they break through again and they kill thousands more. Keep that energy. I understand many of us are afraid to voice an opinion because the crisis is so nuanced and hard to understand, and we are afraid of saying the wrong thing, but we can and must use our voices to denounce terrorism and a senseless murder of civilians. Okay. Contradicting myself a little bit. Yeah, it pisses me off, but to be honest with you, it pisses me off from today, right? July 16th, this pisses me off. But if I force myself to look at this in the context of it happening 2 days after the attack, I'm like, hey, I think he's kind of missing the point here, but I get it. But then I go through the rest of his Instagram, which I don't have up. I pulled up the thing I shared from my post about it on Threads. But I go through his Instagram and I see him at workers' protests. I think some reproductive right protests, right? Doing all the normal progressive shit through the months since this post. And I never once on his Twitter, on his Instagram, right? And he's not super active, but he's fairly active. Again, like I said, posting at various protests, posts supporting Biden, right? And then this one. And then this one. Suspiciously absent are his posts from are his posts in support of, well, shit. Maybe that's asking too much, right? Supporting Palestine, supporting a free. Maybe that's just a bridge too far. Okay, fine. What about? I get it. Israel has a right to exist, but this is not the way, and this goes against Jewish values, and we're at 10,000 dead, 20,000 dead, 30,000 dead. Where is he called for this? Well. Let me show you all this thing here. What the fuck? What channel was it in? Where'd y'all talk about this? The Israel-Palestine channel. So on the Discord, I do have a specific channel for Israel-Palestine. Typically, they're more broad, right? Nerds of cultures, where we just talk about nerd shit, but where we get to like talk about like what's bad representation, stuff like that, you know. We also have a non-political section of the Discord. So if you're tired of that, you can mute the political side of the Discord if you just need a mental break, and you'll have it. Here we go. Oh my God, where the fuck is it? It was in Israel-Palestine. International, U.S. headlines. He fires his, he puts, oh, is it in music? No. Art? No. Somebody help me out. You're in the Discord. Where the fuck is this? Am I losing my mind? Anyways, all right, fuck it. Jack Black, Tenacious T. Check this shit out. Now, the way that I set this up, you would think that Jack Black did something with regard to Israel, right? Right? Did something about respectability politics towards Israel. And no. Jack Black, blindsided by Kyle Gass's his bandmate, Trump shooting comment, ends Tenacious D tour. They were on tour, and this bitch ends it. Man, you can't even make jokes anymore. Man, that's wild. That's wild. You can't even make jokes now. How about your boys over in Israel? Does that count? Does that count? No? All right. What a hoe. No sound. God damn it. Mother beach. You guys didn't even hear the joke.
Speak up for yourself and others, whether it's regarding fair pay or...
Starting over. Comedy is canceled. Hey, you're not allowed to make jokes anymore, people.
Jack Black just canceled Tenacious D's tour, and it's because of a joke his bandmate Kyle Gass made on stage over the weekend at a show in Sydney.
Don't miss Trump next time.
Gass was joking.
And the crowd erupts in laughter. Who is your audience, you fucking weak-spined piece of shit?
About the assassination attempt on former President Trump. In a statement to USA Today, Black said, quote, "I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the tenacious..."
Unless it's Israel committing genocide on Palestinians, then you just have to respect Israel's right to defend itself.
D tour and all future creative plans are on hold. Black and Gass have performed together in Tenacious D, a comedy rock band, since 1994.
Yeah, so the Fucker Gently artist is just cannot abide. Jack Black has always been a peacekeeper. Whatever opinion is going to diffuse the situation or make him appear safe is the opinion he has. Yeah, peacekeeper, though, in my opinion, comes off as, you know, it has like a positive air to it, like a positive spin to it. Like he's just a pacifist like that. Like, and I get that. There are people who are naturally pacifists, right? Very like zen in how they want to live their life. But as somebody who is a comedian, for somebody to make a joke about not missing, which is really the joke is, I fucking hate Trump. It just comes off as weak-willed. You know what I mean? This is it exactly. Peacekeepers don't have a peace within themselves, in my opinion, can't stand on anything. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's like, you know, but hold on, let me just say. Who has he ever led? Who has he ever led? I'm not sure what you're referencing. But I want to make clear that I do know true principled pacifists. I am not a pacifist. This idea that nobody deserves death is not in my, it's not in the way I think. Okay. Maybe he just wants to be one of those. I'm not political people, so he tries to aim for the middle, not to offend anybody. You know, he could have done a million things like that. He could have done a million different kind of like shit, even on mic. You know what I mean? Like, there have been times that on Nerds of Culture where I might not agree with somebody, and I can be like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, of course you're not gonna like set your homie on fire live. You know what I mean? It's like, he didn't have to burn him like that. He could have been like, nope, that's not okay. Carry on, continue on. You know, like he could even went on a little monologue at that. Hey guys, I know, I get it. It's funny. I'm not a fan of Trump. I know you guys aren't, but we are not going to promote that kind of stuff. And I bet you old boy would have been like, you're right. Because he understands the business, right? They've been doing this for fucking 30 years. Like, of course they understand the business. So he would have apologized. You're right. Okay, that's a little much. And then just move on with your life. But no, this guy wants to be so fucking performative, so weak-spined that he's going to end the tour, of which I would be willing to bet money his other bandmates are not as financially well off as him. Jesus Christ. Where is the Oh, did I already close it? I wanted to see. Did somebody? I don't know if Maneater's in the middle of watching the movie or not. I want to say that the dude got kicked out of the band. Let me see. Cancels tours. So this is like an hour ago. Washington Post. You better not block me out. You better not block me out. I feel it's inappropriate. Which is promoting Tenacious D and Spicy Meatball. Announced on Tuesday. That's been also Gas also apologized. What I tell you, Gas also apologized for the incident on Tuesday, writing an Instagram post. The line I improvised on stage Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. Okay, whatever. I don't condone violence, he continues, in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy, and I am incredibly sorry for my severe lack in judgment. The band also has scheduled days. The attack, blah, 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 blah. Kid Rock, everybody's supporting, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck? I'm trying to see if the dude got fired or not. So that's a rumor I heard, but I don't see anything in this article about it. Yeah, but the fact that people laughed, he was playing to the line. He's like, I didn't mean it. Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. I don't see this as, I don't see this as a sincere apology. I don't think he has anything to apologize for, but I also think that he's clearly doing it for business reasons, probably to save his job and to make sure that he didn't cause liability problems for the band, right? And to be honest, I'll be honest with you. When you get to a certain size in fame, I'm willing to bet that there are certain precautions you have to take because of your reach of your platform, right? So if you got millions and millions of followers across the world and you say something like your favorite star, your favorite, celebrity says, next time don't miss. 99.99% of people are going to be like, ha ha ha. But there might be 0.01 people who are going to say like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And I won't miss. Oh, Jesus. Saw on a thread, somebody pointed out that he's getting scared of getting dime bagged. Kung Fu Panda says, what? What does that mean? Dime bag. What happened to dime bag? You can make me Google it. Dime bag. Given the context, Dimebag Daryl. Due to the September 11th attacks, the tour was canceled. The members turned to Texas where they agreed to take a short hiatus. Pantera. Career. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Other projects. Death. Oh, he died. Oh, shit. Oh, that's why you're bringing it up. Oh, wow. That's fucking crazy. Maybe if I was a metalhead, I would know this stuff. What the hell? There we go. On December 8, 2004, Damage Plan was performing at the Alrosa Villa Night Club in Columbus, Ohio. Nathan Gale, a deranged fan, rushed onto stage as the band played the first song of its set list and shot Abbott multiple times with the Beretta 92 FS, a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. The band's head of security, Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson, then tackled Gale, but was shot fatally in the ensuing struggle. A fan, Nathan Bray, was also killed as he attempted to aid Abbott and Thompson. Man, god damn. Just like everybody, just putting everybody going down. Like I had some like clutch jokes in my head and then like another part of my brain is like, no, this isn't the time. Calm down, Robo. 3 others were wounded before Columbus police officer James Niggemeyer entered the club and shot Gale once in the head, with a 12 gauge Remington Model 870, killing him. Abbott was pronounced dead at the scene. So you know what? Okay. Yeah, I can see that. The fact that there was more, yeah, no. That's actually valid as fuck, actually. Damn, that kind of changes my, God damn it, Ethan Gregory music. I was busy being, having righteous indignation and hating Jack Black. Still a Zionist, though. But that's actually really good. That's actually a really good point. Because I'm imagining like Jack Black, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you not know how insane these people are? You're going to put out a fucking apology and I'm going to say what I'm going to say because those motherfuckers are going to kill us. Like the security nightmare that is a concert with a sea of people in front of you, never knowing, like, man, if anybody got something through the fucking security, I'm fucking dead. And you know for a fact, Jack Black is not strapped. And even if he was, that dude would go to prison if you fire back at a shooter in a crowded... blah, blah, blah. Did you get the shooter? No, but you got like 12 other people. No, that's a good, really, really, really good point. But I will say this much. In response to people saying that you shouldn't be joking about the assassination attempt, yeah, let's change this title up. And you know what? I changed my mind. You shouldn't joke about what happened to Donald Trump a couple days ago. It is not a laughing matter. It is not something to joke about. And I hope that anybody who likes this stream or considers themselves a part of our community will respect the fact that I will not take the following jokes lightly. And I would be very upset if somebody sent me more like this. Do not send me anything like this because I do not condone violence. And I would not ever make jokes like the ones I'm about to show you.
Swung his body to the... So I must...
Donald Trump telling his sons about his story being shot at the rally.
I had the nigga so tight, the nigga swung his body to the side. And that's how my shit was open. And he hit me, boom, pow. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm down, so I guess his man came, and his man took the chain off my neck and threw it. And when he threw it, I reached out, and I grabbed the chain.
See this right here? This, I'm just showing you guys to make sure you guys know what not to do. This right here, this is probably the most do not make these kind of jokes. Elite X1, what's up? Hey, do me a favor. I need you to go say something in YouTube so that way you can make it easy for me, and I can mod you there so I don't have to go into the settings. Remember this joke right here? Ben Simmons watching the shooter miss from point blank range.
Coming up under there like that? I'm the same reason he come up under there like that. Because when I got him like that, I hit him right in the jaw. He'll never forget that too, boy. He a little thing, man. We used to call him Little Tank. Look at him, Little Tank. Little Tank. He Big Tank now.
He Big Tank now. Oh, shit. JFK watching the shooter miss from close range after they snuffed him in a moving car.
This game is rigged, man.
It's fucked up. Oh, there you go. There you go. I see you. Click. Add as moderator. Boom. All right. If y'all got a problem, we got 2 new moderators. Sig Fang Architect of Sin's been a moderator. I just forgot to make him a moderator in the Discord. But Sig Fang Architect of Sin and the Elite X1. If anybody has any problems, I don't want to hear it. Go to them. You have no idea how good John Wilkes Booth is.
I have no idea how good Tim Duncan was. Oh my God.
That was loud. Tim Duncan. I meant John Wilkes Booth. Lee Harvey Oswald watching the shooter miss Trump from just a few meters away. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Which is we're kind of like an intermission right now. So for this intermission, I think that as a proud American, and if you're not American watching this, then just show some respect. I would like you to stand up and either put your hand over your heart, maybe even salute. You're supposed to use your left hand. Or take a knee. You can take a knee. But do one of them as we listen to the Star Spangled Banner. Show some respect.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Oh
home
no!
of the brave.
Boo Ernst. Oh, you're kneeling for this anthem? You should be kneeling for every anthem. All right. We're not gonna watch these. Well, I do want to watch this. Hold on. What the man? We're past it. We started too. You know what I mean? It's, you know what this is like. You know what these videos right here like after watching that. Back when I used to work out a lot. Respawn. Hello, mate. How are you? She's from Australia, so for people who are new here, every time Respawn comes in, I put it on my Australian accent to greet her so she feels comfortable here, right? That's for true. Hey, governor, right? Australian. Hello. When I used to go in the gym a lot, there was this moment, right? Because I would get in the zone, and I'd be crushing it, right? It's a long time ago, right? This is back in the day, just Wednesday. I'd be crushing it. If there was anything that made me like come out of my zone, workout's done. Like I'd go, like somebody would take a call, and I'd be like, oh, okay, oh man, yeah, I'm in the gym right now, but da 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 da. I'm like, okay, and I hang up, and I'll be like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm like, out, and that's kind of how I am right here, because we went ahead and you know, I mean, this part right here was serious, right? This was just like what not to do, right? Obviously, this was very serious. But then we got, you know, this, and then we're about to watch this. Well, now I have to go back to this. This is depressing shit, right? That's tomorrow. Okay, so I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna put in this little folder right here called stream, and we're gonna save that for tomorrow. And do we want to go into brain rot? I think it's time for brain rot. Let's change it up. I mean, there's a lot of important things to talk about too. Like if I was Hassan and stream like 10 hours a day, I'd be like, we need a break, and like here in about 6 hours I'll come back to it or some shit. but nah, we're not doing that. So Gen X, I'm gonna need y'all to be better. I am technically Gen X. You watched the Doc Rashad Richie? That's my yeah. Look. By the way, if there's any if you were Hassan, you'd stream more frequently too. Look, I already have Elite X1 on my ass. I don't need 2, okay? Jeebus Christos. Look at that. Brain rot covered your comment too. That's what you get. Fuck, what was I saying? Okay, Gen X. I'm technically Gen X, 1980. And but here's the thing about being Gen X at 1980. Like I know everybody gives me shit. Man-eaters gives me, so you know what, man, actually let me give you all something. Man-eaters, if anybody wants to give me shit for not streaming enough, I need you all to chastise Man-eater, because Man-eater is, we're on the couch and I look at my time and I go, damn, I should stream tonight. I should get ready. And she goes, okay. To be fair, she goes, okay, yeah, go stream. And then I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it today though. She goes, yeah, let's just put on the movie. I'm like, all right. She's an enabler. That's what she is. She's an enabler. But nah, we're back in it. I'm in a roll. See, all I gotta do is get into a habit. I'll be back. And I'm here. I'm back. All right. So I'm Gen X. The problem with being a 1980 Gen Xer is there's a word, Zennial. Or no, not Zennial. Zillennial. Zillennial. Yeah, Zennial with a Z is super old Gen Zs. Like my daughter, born in the year 2000. So she would be like, she considers herself like a Zennial, where like the young Gen Zs, she doesn't have anything in common with. It's like that for me. And like a Zillennial is like, I'm technically Gen X, but every time I see like Gen X TikTok or something like that, I'm 43. These dudes are like 50, 51, 52. And I'm like, okay, technically we are in the same generation, but I don't really have that much in common with y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, And then millennial, I just look like I'm trying to look young by say, but depending on how far we go, a lot of millennials, I'm like, oh, that's too young. Right. So it's just like Zennial, this middle kind of yeah, well, you got it. This I wasn't sure if it was Zennial or Zillennial or whatever the fuck. Maybe it's Zillennial with a Z. That's the Gen Z millennial one. But Zennial, yeah. Anyways. I don't do tribalism with age. Especially since, listen, let's be real. Okay, boomer. Let's be real, okay? Let's be real for a second. You're coming across, like you don't see the shirt. You're swiping across TikTok or YouTube and you come across me, right? Well, comic books. Naturally, no, there's fucking chud comic book dudes, right? Like, you're like, and I get it. Because dudes who look like me, I'm also, let's see. Let's check your opinions. I'm expecting them to be shit right now just because of your age, which I'm like, valid. Because most fucking Gen Xers are garbage tier people, right? The youth is going to save us, not Gen X. And this proves it. This proves it. Hey, babe, can you find a Gen X Rising video? If anybody can go to TikTok and look up Gen X Rising and throw links in the chat for what she might be talking about, because I haven't seen these.
Eminem just dropped one corny ass rap song and it gave Gen X all the crack and delusion that they needed to get in a fake fight with Gen Z. And I mean fake because Gen Z is just hearing about this fight, meanwhile Gen X are rising. And I most certainly remember saying that you guys spent too long bullying millennials. Your targets should have been at Gen X. No,
True.
really, why is my For You page crowded with middle-aged men and women talking about Gen X rise? And I'm not even trying to hate, bro. The shit is just that funny because it's just them in this weird-ass filter and they're just rising up like...
Stop.
Bro, I saw like 7 on my page already and I went to see the comments because obviously I thought it was funny and I thought others would laugh like me, but then there were other Gen Xers in the comments talking about we're the silent generation for a reason. They don't want us to speak, so don't speak. Oh yeah, it's time to go to war. With who? Martha, you're 46. Sit down and pay your mortgage. And it's like when they're clustered up like this, they really start to feel themselves, but it's just so funny to watch because I read one comment that was like, we're the silent generation because we're given nothing and nothing's harder and stronger than somebody who was given nothing. And the other Gen Xers in the comments were like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'm sorry, this is so funny, bro. That'll show them.
Bro, I don't care. If that became the norm, I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer. No, you know what? No, fuck that. I will shave, get back into shape, and try, and it's gonna be like a 2000 high school show, right? Like a movie. Right? Just think about a movie where it was set in a high school and the seniors there are clearly like 30. That's going to be me for 30-year-olds. If I have to, I will shave, get into shape, and put on skinny jeans and swear and tell people all day I'm actually 31. I'm not. I can't. Oh my Lord. All right, let's check this one out. Is anyone else's FI? No, don't give me. I want somebody taking it seriously. Is that second one gonna be serious? We're laughing at Gen X now. Let's see, copy link. God damn it. No, it's not. What half my For You pages looks like. Is this is still somebody 31. Oh, watch it. Okay. All right. But she's young though. She's not Gen X. Okay, fine. You're gonna make me look for myself. You're gonna make me do my own work. God. Oh yeah. Oh, yes. Play, dummy. What's going on? God damn it. Do your own research. That's literally it. Yeah, but I want to laugh at old people, not young people doing the thing. What are you doing? What are you doing to me, TikTok? The way you shaking it. Oh no. No. Stop it. Oh no. I am literally gonna turn inside out with cringe. Oh.
Gen X rise.
Nobody can see where you're pointing to now. One more. Cause I feel like some people are gotta be silly about it, right? Like there has to be some people just being silly. But that dude was definitely trying to be badass. Ooh. Fuck is this shit? I want to see the Eminem one. I heard Eminem's. Bro, you are in as much or worse back pain than I am now. Stop. But here, I want to hear this. Check this out. Damn, this plugin I got. Like I have to reload it every time.
All right, here, drink this. What is it? Shut up and drink it. No.
Oh, this is gonna get muted on YouTube side. Sorry.
I said drink it, bitch. The fuck? The fuck are you trying to do? Get us canceled. Hey, yo, fuck blind people. What? And deaf people suck. Stop. So
I'm not pausing it because it's too offensive. I'm pausing it because I don't want to get booted off of YouTube just yet. What am I doing? Why am I opening up my DMs? You guys don't need to see my DMs. That's embarrassing. That is absolutely embarrassing. Oh. Okay, this one we're gonna do, and then we're gonna watch a balloon pop. This isn't brain rot, so we're gonna go ahead and take this off because I don't know. This isn't really brain rot, but it's like half brain rot because I just love when dudes get red. I love when anybody in the Republican Party gets red. If Eminem is so edgy, why doesn't he say the N-word? Because I have to listen to the album myself. And as somebody who was a very big fan of Eminem, my first concert at 19 years old was in the Up in Smoke deal in San Diego, 1999. And that doesn't mean anything because I probably didn't start moving left and realizing that I was a douchebag probably into my mid-30s. And y'all need to stretch. You need to stretch. Tennis lady, I can't move for 3 days because I played tennis today. What she's not saying is, what do you do for burning pee-pee? You take a shot. Already. Somebody else earlier was in here. Clap for chlamydia. Yeah. I'm not sitting up and down with knees hurting. This is true. First of all, I play tennis. I wouldn't be able to. I would swing it once or twice and be like, okay, I gotta go stretch. My back. Look, I got a handicap pass for a reason. Wow, Maneater. Wow, were you being ableist just now? You know what? I think you need to be better. You need to be better. What do you do for burning pee-pee? Listen, I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. Chlamydia is just strep throat for the genitals. Just take a break, get some rest, go to the doctor, get a shot. That shit will clear right up. Okay? Then use protection next time. Stop being an idiot. This isn't technically brain rot, but Jasmine Crockett is burning shit down. And Jasmine Crockett is being the person that we wanted AOC to be. If you all haven't heard, the DSA has dropped their endorsement for AOC due to her support of Biden and support mainly because of the support of Israel. She also voted for the bill where calling Zionists to being against Zionism was equal to being anti-Semitic. So, but it's okay because we still have Jasmine Crockett, who is a lawyer. So I'm not sure she's a socialist. I don't know if she's a socialist. Let's just say that. But let's see how she is here.
Bootstrapped charges that are normally misdemeanors.
By the way, what's up, Duck Shoes? I just realized I haven't seen that name in a while. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
To some underlying crime to make the charges a felony. But what was the underlying crime? Prosecutors didn't reveal that until after the trial began.
Oh my God, that's loud. Sorry for that. I forgot I put it up for the national anthem. Hopefully it didn't blow out anybody's ears.
Opening statement accused President Trump of violating the Federal Elections Campaign Act. But the problem is, in the plain reading of that act doesn't support the indictment or the verdict. As Commissioner Smith stated, allowing this prosecution to go forward and the ultimate jury decision threaten the enforcement procedures established by Congress under the act and stretch the meaning of the statute in such a way as to threaten due process of law. It is clear Manhattan District Judge Juan Merchan's decisions, guided by political bias, unfairly prejudiced the outcome of the trial and violated President Trump's due process rights.
Okay, so he's talking about legislation. Good night, Maneater. Good night. He's talking about legislating. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do, right? As Jasmine Crockett will let everybody know why everybody else should also be confused about what's happening right now, right? Because he's mad about the conviction of Donald Trump in New York, and they're talking about it here. This guy is some fuckface that is gonna say, yeah, you're absolutely right, and I don't see how they took it to court in the first place. And then we're gonna get to Jasmine Crockett, who, by the way, is a lawyer who passed the bar and a representative in the United States Congress.
All the way to the end.
I just want to level set because I feel as if some people don't understand how government works, and I don't know how they got to Congress. So, Mr. Wu, I'm going to need you to help me out because I don't know that I trust that other people will know the answers to these questions. Number one, how many branches of...
How many people, just the cadence of her voice, just the cadence and sound of her voice, her accent, how many of those people fucking cannot stand her? And I fucking love it. I love it. She reads them. She doesn't feel any need to code switch. She goes, I'm going to tell you exactly how I want to tell you. And I love it.
Government do we have?
3.
3. Okay, sounds good. So, can you name them for me?
Legislative, judiciary, and executive.
Very good. Okay, so currently, I think that I serve in the legislative branch. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, fine. Can you tell me when somebody goes to court, such as a criminal convicted of 34 felony counts, state court in New York, would that be the legislative people or judicial people?
Well, it's really the executive that's prosecuting, and then it's within the judiciary to run the trial properly.
Okay, very good. So, judiciary. So, typically, if someone has an issue with, say, what happens in court, do they then somehow hop from state court all the way to the federal legislative branch, or is there a different process in which you are supposed to be able to explain any issues you may have?
The process would be the judicial appellate process, holding aside the issue of state versus federal.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So normally people don't get convicted on a state level and somehow end up litigating the issue on the federal level in the legislative branch. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So something is different about what's going on today. I just wanted to clarify because I thought I was living in the upside down for a second. Now, I want to move on and talk about how someone is prosecuted. Currently, because under Project 2025, we'll get there, there will be a different way to prosecute people. But currently, it is my understanding, and I only kind of went to law school, passed a couple of bar exams, and practiced on the state and federal levels, but just clarify for me, when someone goes in to be prosecuted,
no big deal.
Is it, say, the President of the United States that somehow becomes the state prosecutor in New York?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not, because he's the executor, huh? That's that other branch.
Correct.
That's the, okay. All right,
Yeah.
so you have this prosecutor, and in this case, it's Alvin Bragg, who was duly elected, correct?
Correct.
Not appointed by the president, correct?
Right.
She breaks this down from the top. Like, this is how you know she's a lawyer. Unlike me, who like just talks off the cuff and is not prepared with notes or shit, so I end up going all over the place. She has a extremely deliberate process for reading everybody in that room. And it's a very deliberate kind of like, let's start big and we're going to go in step by step by step, right? Like elected officials and what the process is, and just watch how she just freaking completely dismantles it all. She's bringing that British Parliament energy. Hell yeah.
Duly elected by the citizens in his jurisdiction, right?
Right.
So he's elected, and usually there's some sort of an investigation that takes place, correct?
Prior to his election? Or?
No. When it with a case, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I've
correct.
moved on.
Yes.
All right. So the very first part of a case is that we go through an investigation. After that investigation, then the prosecutor usually has what we would consider to be some sort of prosecutorial discretion as to whether or not they want to go forward, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then they use that discretion, but then when it's somebody that is facing a felony amount of time, which is usually in most states over a year, then they have to present it to a grand jury. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, a grand jury is comprised of citizens, correct?
Correct.
U.S. citizens from that area, correct?
Right.
Okay, so they have to come to the conclusion that they are going to issue what we call a true bill, correct?
Correct.
All right, so then we have an indictment. And then there's pretrial motions, there's pretrial hearings, all kinds of stuff, right?
Right.
All right, and then ultimately, depending on where you are, you have the opportunity to say, hey, I want a jury trial, correct?
Correct.
And a jury trial is comprised of U.S. citizens again, right?
Right.
Okay, very good. All right, so can you tell me so far if all of this took place in the case in New York?
Yes, it did.
Oh, okay. All right, so you get to trial. Now, when you show up to trial and you're facing a felony amount of time, as a defendant, are you not entitled to an attorney?
Yes, you are.
And your attorney is allowed to pick the jury, they're allowed to present evidence, and ultimately, it is a jury of your peers who decides whether or not you are guilty or not, correct?
Correct.
And in this case,
the
30
as the judge involved too.
And in this case, they found him guilty not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6. I could keep going on, but 34 counts were given. So the opinions of these people who were not juries is not what we do in this country. In this country, we have a system in which jurors decide who is found guilty, and if you have a problem with that, you go to the appellate court, which the last time I checked, he was raising money so that he could go to the appellate court and appeal his decision, and they will have the final say-so. Thank you so much.
Yes, they will. The gentlelady yields back, and the gentleman from North Dakota is recognized.
The GOP used these hearings and meetings like troll.
Look at that. He is such a fucking piece of shit. What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't got nothing to say? You don't got nothing to say? Like, this is how they do, right? Last time she did this, when she got mad about at Marjorie Taylor Greene, what do? They'll say whatever the fuck they need to say. They'll be as and this is why that respectability politics, just throw it out the window. That's why Jasmine Crockett is acting exactly the way she needs to act, because playing their game, listen, playing their game, you will lose every time. You will lose every time, because that is who they are. They do that. And when you sit there, watch what happens last time. Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Ma'am, calm down. Man, when I heard her say that, like, my blood was boiling for her. So you know what? Fuck it, right? Because they're not listening to you when you're nice. They're not listening to you when you're angry. So you might as well tell the public, because you work for the public, exactly what needs to be said on camera, because you know this shit is going to be used. And so what do? How do they respond? Women, am I right? You know what I mean? You know what he really wants to say. You know, he's not just women. You know what he really wants to say. He's like, ugh. And you know what? That shit works. That shit works. Because that whole time that she's spitting, everybody else who's like Jim Jordan, man, woman, and otherwise, is all doing the same thing. Because that is the party of white supremacy. And if she were speaking kindly and softly and whatever the fuck they want, they would ignore her and they would talk over her. And if she says it how she needs to, they're gonna pretend like they're gonna do the angry black woman trope. So there is something that I am seeing in the starting with millennials, Gen Z. They are done with respectability politics, and I'm fucking here for it. She's super smart, and that's why I love her. Yeah, she is something else. I love it. I said we were gonna do Pop the Balloon, but I did see the time, and we are sitting at about 2 hours, and I've been trying to keep the streams to about 2 hours. And if we get more activity, then we will go longer, but I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay longer than it has to be. Tomorrow I'll be live at 7 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel, and the next day we will have Nerds of Culture. What are we gonna talk about? I have no fucking clue. We usually figure it out the day before anyway, so. But yeah, come hang out tomorrow, and I'm gonna take a better look at the time. 7 Eastern, sorry about that. 7 Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, and I will take better look at the time so that around an hour 30 into the stream, we'll get to like Pop the Balloon and some fun shit. If you guys have any ideas, especially if you want, hear my if you want us to talk on stream about anything, head over to suggestions, drop stuff inside the Discord, and then and even if it's for brain rot, if you think something will be fun to watch in brain rot, it's not for learning anything. That's why it's brain rot. You just turn your brain off and have fun. And Pop the Balloon, I love. And whatever. Wait, 3 times this week is a marathon. It's gonna be 4 because I stream on Nerds of Culture on Thursday. So long week, hey, when you do this full time, you gotta put in the hours, man. All right, y'all. Thanks again. I'm Robo. This is Left Faced. I hope if you're on YouTube, please hit the like before you get out of here. If you're on Twitch and you want to head over to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit like, do all that stuff. I am trying to hit 1,000 before the end of the year. Probably if I stop doing 2, 3, and 4 week hiatuses of not streaming, maybe I'll get to it. If I don't get to it, it'll be my fault. but I'm still going to try. Don't forget to hydrate. And listen, as we're here and what we do is to try to make the world better. So we don't get into an individualist mindset. We take care of other people. But don't forget, when you are taking care of other people, do not forget to take care of yourself. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.